Davis, and this game is underway, controlled by the top-seeded Blazers of UAB. This is Nick Norton with the basketball.
Well, Mike, if you don't hear yourself think today, it might be because that crowd's here, and they're off to a good start attacking the basket.
And right away, a foul called on number 42, Anton Waters, the 6'7 junior. And Ray Harper coming off a victory over North Texas. 84 points on the board yesterday. They come in averaging about 76.5. Now, again, as I mentioned yesterday, twice he's won conference tournaments by winning 4 games in 4 days. This is day number 2. And the Blazers take an early 1-0 lead.
Well, Mike, I thought that Ray Harper's team played at their optimum last night. They played so well, and they're going to have to come back with a huge performance today against a UAB team that has won 28 games in a row in Birmingham, 3 in this arena.
Chris Coakley just named the second team All-Conference USA. Knocks down both free throws, and the Blazers grab an early lead. Norton almost picks the pocket. Justin Johnson takes it hard to the glass, and Waters was there, but Johnson gets the tip. He's coming off the double-double, 17-10 yesterday.
Well, how about his ability to get to the rim? He's so relentless. You've got to keep a body on Justin Johnson. He's such a hungry player, Mike, and you got to really get after him.
He was loose again coming up to the broadcast table during the warm-ups, though, and just looked at us and said, lights, camera, action.
Well, he's ready to go. He enjoys this big stage. You can better believe that.
Norton tries the 3, and Hakeem Baxter thought he had the offensive rebound, but Coakley knocked it out of his hands. So Jared Haas, again, the coach of the year. Of course, he spent 13 years with Roy Williams at Kansas and North Carolina. No stranger to the NCAA tournament, of course, as a player or a coach. But back in 1997, he and Jacques Vaughn and the crew lost in this building, and they had quite the team that year.
Well, quite the team. They played my Cal team, and they gave us one hell of a game, and they defeated us. We didn't have too many losses that year, but that was one of them. They were a great team to play against, and Jared House was a big reason why they were successful.
Regular season, 29-1. Johnson again, that's a 2 if it goes, it rims out, and the rebound goes to the Hilltoppers. Little scoop shot inside. Frederick Edmond, the 6'4 junior, gets his first bucket.
Give Western Kentucky credit for not watching shots. Mike, you can't watch shots. They don't go down. Get to the glass. They've now had 2 putbacks, huge putbacks for them to keep them into this game early.
They were plus 18 on the glass yesterday against North Texas. A little bit too strong, and Johnson just rips down that rebound.
Well, you got to be tough against Western Kentucky. They're a very good defensive rebounding team.
Chris McNeil, 9 assists yesterday. Nice solid line. 9 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds for the guard. Johnson again on the baseline, little push. And the foul's going to be on Tosin Mahinti, the 6'9 junior out of Georgia.
Let's watch Western Kentucky go to the glass, Mike, if you can, if we have a chance to look at that. They really go hard. And we'll come back to that, but they've been helping themselves big time going to the glass.
Catch and shoot, baseline doesn't go. And the reach and the foul, it's going to go against Frederick Edmond, who just scored the bucket. That's his first.
Well, I don't mind that foul, Mike. You know, you want to get aggressive fouls. Don't pick up silly ones, but if you're going to the glass against this very big and strong UAB team, that's a pretty good foul to get. It's a message that we're going to go early, and you're going to have to check us out.
Hilltoppers up 4-2. You know, UAB, Jared Haas actually sent out a letter, because this is a noon game, sent out a letter to all the local employers asking that the employees get at least a 2-hour lunch break to come to this basketball game. And the arena's starting to fill up now. Some late arrivals, but
great idea. You know, you got to give Jared Haas credit, or any coach that can be that thoughtful about getting there. What a great move to the basket, Mike.
Robert Brown.
Throw it down. That's uncharacteristic, getting to West Kentucky all the way to the rim, but they got there in a hurry, and they threw it down with authority.
Was that on purpose? I said Robert Brown, you said throw it down, trying to be a poet here?
Well, he did, and Western Kentucky's got to watch out because he's an aggressive player. But speaking of aggressive players, Justin Johnson in the post is not only aggressive, he's skilled, he's finesseful, and guess what? You go down and double team him, Mike, he will throw it out and find open teammates.
Well, yesterday was his 9th double-double. He's got 4 of the 6 for the Hilltoppers right now. And a couple of rebounds to boot. Nice scoop shot there by Chris Coakley. He's got 4.
I like both teams' approach to this game. Both coaches are saying, look, we're not just going to make this a game of jump shots. We're going to go inside out. If you don't defend us, we're going to score. And if you do, we're going to throw out. I love this philosophy.
Hilltoppers won 4-5 to close out the regular season, so now 5 of 6 after their victory yesterday against North Texas. Of course, the Blazers, the top seed, they've won 12 of the last 14 games. Boy, Johnson just takes it in with authority. He plays like he's about 6'9", doesn't he?
Well, he does, Mike. And, you know, you're going to have to make some decisions against Justin Johnson. You're probably going to have to send somebody there either on the catch or on the dribble. But to allow him to get all the way in the lane and operate, you're in trouble. He's that good.
Nice move inside again. Coakley playing like a first teamer, not a second teamer.
Well, he says, Coach, give me the ball. That he can't stop me. And, you know, he's right. It's going to be tough for Western with their size to get up there and challenge Coakley because he can score it inside. So really, both coaches just pounding it inside and saying, hey, you're going to stop our best action to the interior.
All tied up at 8 apiece. Nice drive inside, and another offensive rebound by the Hilltoppers, and Waters is there with a swooping scoop shot on the baseline.
Well, Mike, this is tournament action at its best. There are no, nobody's giving in here. If you miss a shot, you better get on the glass because both teams going after it hard.
Gotta love the pace, huh?
Unbelievable.
Norton. Open look. Corner. A little bit too strong by Robert Brown.
Well, haven't had too many outside shots, but you know he can heat it up. But I like the ability to move the basketball. Both teams doing a great job getting it to the interior with ball movement.
Johnson gives it up. It's a 3. A little bit too strong off the hands of Chris McNeil. Well, Norton finally slows it down. 4 offensive rebounds already for Western Kentucky. Norton throws it out. A rare turnover. Boy, you heard about downtown Freddie Brown. How about uptown Robert Brown?
Let's take Robert Brown going down the lane, all the way down the boulevard, as they say, and slamming it down for 2. And we've got a break. Great action, Mike.
Rebounds. Ray Harper couldn't have been happier for Nigel Snipes. He said he didn't score. He only took 1 shot on senior day, so he got into the gym all week before the tournament started. Knocked down 4 threes yesterday, wound up with 16 points. He said he's one of the best kids he's ever been around.
Well, he had a whale of a game yesterday. He was on fire.
Outside shot, it goes for Alex Rostov.
Speaking of on fire, big fella stepping out and showing his range.
Rostov 22% from outside. That's only his 5th 3.
Well, Mike, make no mistake, Western Kentucky has come here to play. They've been playing such good basketball as of late, and they're continuing right into this gym. And it's going to be really important for UAB to play defensively and keep them in front of them and get some stops, because that's going to be the key to their game. They're going to score, but they're going to have to stop Western Kentucky. They're on a roll.
Rostov hits the 3, then he commits the foul, his first. Saw Norton go out for Jared Haas. Jared Haas, you got me saying Haas now.
Well, that's from playing all those years in Cal at Haas Pavilion, and Jared has played there. He played for Cal for a year, so we'll talk about that later.
With Jason Kidd. This one rims out. It's ripped down by Johnson. It's funny how that works. I don't think I've ever said Jared Haas before until today. Wow, look at that rejection. UAB comes in averaging about 6 blocks a game. A lot of electricity inside this building right now. And finally, Western Kentucky pulls out the rebound. That's Frederick Edmond.
A great pace, Mike. This game has everything you wanted it.
Speaking of Snipes, gives it up to Rostov. Rostov off the mark that time. A little push as they go for the rebound. It's going to go against UAB.
Well, you know, Mike, Ray Harper's up on the bench telling his guys, settle down now. You take a break if you got it. Big fella, you just hit a shot, but you don't have to follow up with another one. Get the best shot you can. And they were running their offense through Justin Johnson. They're going to have to go back to that because that gave UAB some problems.
William Lee, 13 pick this year, the defensive player of the year. That's his first foul.
Well, what a luxury. You can bring Ben Lawson off the bench, who has 62 blocks this year at 7'1", and they go right to him.
And Lawson, who had a good game yesterday. Coach Harper couldn't say enough of good things about Ben Lawson.
No, he had a great game. I know if I had him for a second there, I'd say, big fella, that square's up there for a reason. Put that ball up in that square because he did everything right. Caught the lob and just didn't finish it. But he's a factor, Mike. You'll see what he can do on this floor.
Rostow picks up his second foul. Lawson, incidentally, 3 for 4. 4 blocks, 3 for 3 from the charity stripe yesterday. Good solid line.
Well, let's see if UAB goes back and attacks the glass rather than settle for shots. They're a good shooting team, but they can also go up over the top of Western Kentucky. Maybe earlier they could. Justin Johnson's a little bit shorter, but Lawson now gives them some length inside.
Blazers on a 3-minute scoring draw right now. Good drive to the bucket, and that's ended by Robert Brown.
They must have heard me, Mike, because that's exactly what they did, and that's what they should do. That's their game plan. Go inside, attack Western Kentucky, see what they can do to get to the rim.
Chris McNeil with the ball. He said we were locked in yesterday at the shoot-around. We were locked in all week, and that's what happens when you're locked in. That time the Hilltoppers are turning over.
Well, Mike, let's look at the UAB basket right here. They get the screen, they reject it, and they drive it, and really almost get the three-point play opportunity. But that's what you have to do. You've got to attack the ball, attack the rim, and whether it's by the post entry or the dribble, but don't settle for outside jump shots. Get in there and try to establish yourself into the interior.
12.5 minutes to go here in the first half, 13-10. 8-seeded Western Kentucky. They beat the Blazers by 7. They lost by 4 during the regular season. Wisely, McNeil pulls it out. Waters, he was 3 for 5 yesterday. Wow, he goes high.
Love the move, Mike. Love the move. He went one way, was caught, got the other, was defended, and he just came back and stepped back off the glass. Great individual move by Anton Waters.
And some nifty moves yesterday with the spin in the lane, and that's a 3 if it goes, and it doesn't. But the offensive rebound, 2 offensive rebounds, going for third, but to no avail. Snipes looking for that first shot. Oh, Waters trying to go into his repertoire of more nifty moves. Called for traveling. 11:33 to go. We've got a 5-point ball game. The number 8 seed right now pulling off the upset against top seeded UAB.
But you know, they put a lot into it. But how about that? Just amazing what you accomplish when your team has success. A lot of players, takes them a long time to understand that, but Jared's done a great job of selling that to his team.
And 28 straight wins here in the city of Birmingham too, huh, Coach?
Not too shabby.
3 here, 25 over El Barto, just to clarify that comment.
Well, you could say there's a lid on the basket, but that lid has a lot to do with Western Kentucky, Mike.
Outside shot, there's a 3. Snipes finally finds an opening, and he takes advantage.
Well, you know, normally you'd call a timeout, settle down, but they just came out of a timeout. They're going to have to play their way through this, Mike, and UAB is at home, fortunately, but they're going to have to slow down Western Kentucky. They are on a roll.
It's a 3 if it goes, nothing but net. That's time for William Lee.
That's one answer. That's getting back on the track, but they're going to need to hit some shots. And they're going to need to really zero in defensively because Western Kentucky is really having their way on the offensive end.
That's pretty good when your 6'9" defensive player of the year can step outside and knock down a 3 like that. That's his 30th this year. Snipes again. Blazers coming averaging 79, giving up only 69, so that's plus 10. They're down 5 right now. Snipes with another steal. Hilltoppers got some numbers this time. And they've got the alley-oop flush to Ben Lawson.
What a play, Mike. What a great transition basket. And you know what? Go up where there's no traffic. Go to the 7-footer. Nobody up there bothering you.
McNeil with 9 assists yesterday. Put the ball exactly where Lawson needed it. William Lee again rattles in another 3. Back-to-back threes.
Thank goodness for William Lee. That's all I can say. He's a 35% three-point shooter. And that's a big basket, keeping them right in this game because Western's on top of their game.
McNeil comes back and knocks down a 2. That's his first shot and his first bucket.
What confidence Western Kentucky's playing with, Mike. It's really something to see at this stage of the year when you see teams play with confidence. You can see it, and the other team can feel it.
There's Lee again. He's 2 for 3 from long range. The rest of the Blazers 0 for 4 so far this afternoon. Deep in the corner. Offensive rebound, cleared. Good hustle inside. It's stepped on the bounce. Hilltoppers 22-16 on the move.
Mike, let's watch transition basketball and let's see what happens. It's Snipes here. It's spotting, and boy, you know, you can shoot 42% from the floor. That's the guy you want to get the ball to. But here they break out, and they've got a 3-on-1, and they go right to the rim. And Ben Lawson at 7-1 makes it look awfully easy.
Ray Harper bringing Justin Johnson back in the lineup now. Back on the floor. 6 points, 5 rebounds already. Here's Norton. Looks inside, and it's stolen away. Well, the Hilltoppers really got their running shoes on here this afternoon.
Well, fortunately, if there was this travel call, that was going to be a basket going the other way. But you're right, Mike. I think Western Kentucky's taking advantage of playing good defense and running. When you defend, Mike, you can get out in transition. When you're not stopping people, transition goes out the window. So, number one, they've been getting stops, and two, they're getting long rebounds, and they're taking it off and going. They're a good half-court offensive team, but they can score in transition. Ray Harper doesn't mind.
Harper now 10-2 as the head coach of Western Kentucky in tournament games, postseason conference tournament games. 3 turnovers now for Western Kentucky, all traveling calls. Nice drive inside. Lawson altered that shot, but they're going to call the foul on number 14.
Well, he got all the way to the rim. That's a good move. When guards get to the rim, Mike, that really opens up the door for your teammates, your big guys, to pound the offensive glass. And that's what happened in this case. A teammate was able to get to the rim in Baxter. So attack the rim. Good things happen if you can get teams to help.
Baxter Jr. out of Philadelphia, 76% shooter. Misfires.
Not anymore.
So what are you saying? I just jinxed him?
Well, you took him down to 75, but you know the statistics don't lie, Mike. You generally you get there enough, you're going to score it. But in this case, I think it's a case here of UAB being a little tight. And you know, you say, why are you tight if you're the home team? Because you're the home team, and that's something that it's really hard to understand, perhaps. But you know, there's a lot of pressure on you because you got to hold serve at home, and you're here in front of your fans. You don't want to let them down or your team down.
Well, Western Kentucky has everything to win. UAB has everything to lose in this game. There's no doubt about that.
No, that's exactly right. So, you know, this is really kind of a free timeout. There's a problem at the scorers table, and Jared Hazel will take his team, as he's done all year, talk to his team, and just settle them down, talk about exactly what he wants, not just offensively to get on the board, but how can he slow this Hilltopper team down? That's going to be the topic of discussion. He must slow down Western Kentucky, but it starts, believe it or not, in the offensive end. If you're not executing offensively, then it's hard to play defense.
Wow. That's I want to mark that down. And you got a coach sitting next to me saying it starts on the offensive end.
Well, you're listening to me. My players didn't always believe that. But you know, the good teams do understand that, Mike. You really, your defense does start in the offensive end. You can take bad shots or ill-advised shots. Your team doesn't know you're taking shots. You're not going to get back in any type of transition balance.
Western Kentucky by 6. Johnson. Jeez.
Well, guess what Ray Harper talked about at the timeout? Get the ball to Justin Johnson, and they get dividends.
Justin Johnson thought he was Alvin Hayes there for a minute, but he was fouled on the play. Up by 6.
UAB was going to have to find themselves pretty in a hurry because Western Kentucky's on a roll.
Well, Western Kentucky, as a matter of fact, in that first meeting this year, they snapped UAB's 14-game winning streak. And then the Blazers came back on senior day, won it 71-67.
You're right, Mike. And they're going to have to step up here, but that timeout, always think great coaches make adjustments at the timeouts, and you'll see both teams making their adjustments accordingly.
Justin Johnson had 5 at halftime yesterday, wound up with 17. He's got 7 already here with 7:38 to go. I don't think Norton's taken a shot yet, Coach.
He's also a good assist guy. This team passes the ball, Mike. That's been a forte for them all year.
I stand corrected. I'm told he did take 1 3, but shots have been hard to come by against that Western Kentucky defense.
Now they're set. When you play against a set defense, it's always tougher.
McNeil takes it to the glass, little push inside, and I think this one's going to go against UAB again.
Well, officials don't have an easy job in this game, Mike. These are two physical teams that are going to play big, but they're there, and you know, both coaches, they want to see from officials consistency, and if they are calling it even both ways, there's going to be no griping going on. They're going to let them play for the most part, but they'll take away the obvious.
They call that foul on Robert Brown. That's his first. Coming off the 34-point game at 16 yesterday. I don't think we've called his name or number yet. This is Cosby with the basketball. Crowd is saying there's a shot clock is winding down, but they still had 7 when they're down to 2. Snipes with the ball, reaching foul goes against UAB again.
Well, you hate to see that foul if you're UAB because they're down the last few seconds, not going to get a good shot, Mike, and then their foul takes place. And Jared's saying, hey, we don't mind the calls, but he's talking to the officials about, hey, that hand check is a little touchy-feely, but called nonetheless.
Kick outside for a 3, and McNeil just knocks down his 32nd. He had 1 yesterday.
Well, he's an improved shooter. He's only a 28% field goal shooter from 3, but he's feeling the range now and shooting with a lot of confidence.
And the Hilltoppers are as well, 3 for 6 from outside, 50%.
Well, let's look at Justin Johnson. I call him the point forward. Mike, he gets into the lane, they stop him, and he finds his teammates, and that's what Justin Johnson can do. It's very rare that big guys have that kind of ability, and that's something that really, if you're Jared Hauser, you have to worry about. He mentioned to me that a lot of players in this league at the 4 spot can drive it. So you've got to get out there if you're big, and you've got to defend against that drive and lock down. And so that's a big weapon for Western Kentucky against this UAB team.
You mentioned Johnson gets in the lane. He got in there with some vengeance. He just went plowing in. Brown makes 1 of 2. And UAB almost gets an over the back call with William Lee. Let's play on. Boy, a lot of traffic down there. Nice job by Snipes. Well, this crowd's getting loud, Ben. Can you imagine if this building was full?
Well, it's getting there, Mike.
William Lee rips down the rebound. Blazers down 9. So far, not one of the better offensive performances. 49% on the year. That's number 1 in the conference. That's a 3.
He must have heard you, Mike. And he responded because he's got to get this crowd going, and he's asking the crowd, come on up and get into the game.
Sophomore at Bloomington, Illinois. That's number 56 from long range for him. Cosby comes right back, leaves it shy. Great hustle by Johnson.
Well, here's the guy you were calling on. Hey, where's he been? But you're not going to keep him silent for long. He just pulls up and in rhythm knocks a shot down. And, sometimes you have to make those shots. When your team's struggling, Mike, somebody's got to step up. And that's really important. You have to step out of character at times when your team's struggling and find other ways to score. But he brought it upon himself to knock down a big shot and get this crowd right back into the game. And look at what he's done in terms of assists. If he's not scoring, he's assisting at the tune of top 3 in the league.
Snipes, top of the key, 3, doesn't go. Waters almost had the rebound, and UAB charged with yet another foul over the back.
Well, Mike, they're having a problem keeping Western Kentucky off the glass. It's that simple. And Jared Hauser did not complain about that call. He knows his guys are really struggling keeping this Hilltopper team from the glass. They're going there with a vengeance. The key is if you rebound, you're going to get some transition baskets going the other way, because if you send your offensive players to the glass, Mike, you're really susceptible to fast break points against you. So UAB gets off defensive rebounds. They can run on this Hilltopper team.
Hinty charged with that foul. That's his second. Johnson's going to catch a breather. He's got 8 rebounds already. 7 points, 8 rebounds, and we still have 5:17 to go here in the first half. This crowd is vocal, hasn't affected Western Kentucky in the least. Cosby somehow found an open shot, and Lawson somehow with a big left arm sticks it back in.
There's what we just talked about, Mike. It's the offensive rebounding. That's been a real knife in the back against UAB. They have just had a tough time keeping this Hilltopper team from the glass.
Norton again outside. Snipes with a rebound. Norton now 1 for 3 from outside. Hilltoppers try to answer to no avail. Here comes Norton again. Nice feed inside. Oh, it doesn't go down for William Lee.
Well, there's the transition we talked about. They did not score, Mike, but you see how they got to the rim. If they can just secure defensive rebounds, you're going to see some more of that if they can defend, lock down, defend, and rebound.
Well, the Hilltoppers' second chance points right now. It's 11-0 Western Kentucky. Cosby wills that one in.
Well, that's a tough basket. He was bumped into the lane, maintained his balance. No call by the official, but let him play on. And what did he do? He just knocks it down. That's a tough score. Tough finish.
Robert Brown. Little spin. Somehow he got that to go. He spun and ran right into Lawson, but he still scores the bucket.
Well, he wants the foul call, but the refs are letting both teams play, Mike. I love it because it really, it's a treat for the fans and for our viewers and for us because you get to see some really top-notch basketball when the officials let you play. What great hustle.
Scramble for the ball. Well, the backcourt men. First it's Aaron Cosby, then Robert Brown.
There's Cosby all the way to the rim. The teardrop, the score, and then Robert Brown, the and one he thought, no call, but score it. Parity in college basketball and really the hunger of these teams. It's just great to see teams competing, but you feel for those teams that win their league and then they have nothing to show at the end.
Johnson. Just enough space to get that jumper off.
Wow, how did he get that shot off over an outstretched hand? He just hung in the air. He's a really good leaper, Mike. He can get up in the air and elevate and does play a lot bigger than his size.
He might have a double-double before halftime. 9 points and 8 rebounds now for Johnson. Brown lines up with 3, a little bit too strong, and Cosby clears. McNeil's off to the races. Ooh, Cosby wanted it. He had it. Decided to give it up. But on that note, boy, this Western Kentucky team, great unselfishness yesterday.
Mike, there's the break we're talking about. Great finish. What a great jump stop. A great jump stop by Norton. And he just found his teammates streaking to the basket. That's what happens when you play defense, rebound, and come the other way.
Lee now with 8 points for UAB. And they're down 8. Inside 2 minutes here in the first half. Scoop by Cosby, the foul, and Cosby will be going to the line, an 85% shooter.
Well, again, name of this game, defend and get out and go in transition. Here's Nick Norton, shot fake, up fake, find Lee, slam. Picture perfect. If you're watching this at home and you want to see how to run a fast break 3-on-2, run wide, keep the ball in your hands until somebody stops you and deliver it. Great pass and stride for a streaking lead to dunk the ball.
I love the bounce pass by Norton there, huh?
Well, that's exactly the pass. Sometimes, you have to throw the chest pass, but you want to soften that pass as your teammate's going to the rim, and Norton does a great job. Again, one of the top 3 in the league in assists, so he's a multi-purpose player. But Jared has done a great job. He's going to get his team back. He's going to, you can't rely on this crowd. They're there for you, but the crowd will feed off of how you're playing, Mike. It doesn't feed off of, basketball if you're not making plays. So you got to make plays to let your crowd get you back in.
Cosby 4 for 4 from the line yesterday, hits both. It's back to 34-24. Jared Haas pulled Coakley out Coakley had 6 quick points. Now he's got a couple of fouls. This is Brown. And the senior trying to put the team on his back. He's got 9.
Well, he can. He's a capable player. They're going to need his effort today.
Snipes. Yes, count it. Snipes another 3. He had 4 yesterday. He's got 2 here today.
No signs of slowing down, Mike. He's on a rhythm, and you're going to have to do something, probably denial defense, get it out of his hands, because he gets the ball in his hands. He's dead. He's lethal.
Love his stroke. Kind of reminds me of Corey Bradford, the old Illinois.
Absolutely.
Sharpshooter. Boy, nice move inside. Lewis Sullivan, that's his first. He's hit 10 of his last 15 shots. He's 1 for 1 today.
Smart basketball by UAB when they're struggling to stop Western Kentucky. They go right inside and get the sure thing. That's a great move. And now Ray Harper says, hey, let's just put this in perspective. Let's call a timeout.
The Blazers, we mentioned, averaging 79 points, 28 this half with 34 seconds to go. You know, Coach, you wonder, we talked about the record-breaking season. You wonder how their mental state would be if, hypothetically, they lost and UAB was sent to the NIT.
That'd be a tough break. I know nobody wants to see that, but here again, another offensive rebound, Mike. So, you know, they're gonna have to solve this problem. You know, Jared, I think it's complaining about over the backs, but when you're 7-1, you are going to go over somebody's back, and you know, that's just part of it. You're 7-1, hard to block out 7-1. I just can't emphasize that enough.
Brown picks up his second with 24 seconds to go. Lawson, a 75% shooter. He's got 5 in the first half. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks yesterday.
Mike, I'm going to go on a limb here. I can tell you, we were in the situation at Rice a couple years back. We were playing in Tulsa post-tournament, and we had Tulsa up by 16 and a half. And that was the longest halftime and longest half ever. They came back and won. But you've got to get up on the host team. You can't play, you know, even Steven. You've got to get up on them, and because there's going to be a run coming back for UNB. They're going to come back and they're going to make some noise. But right now, their charge is get that last shot.
Largest lead in the game right now for Western Kentucky. We're down to 5 seconds. Brown wanted to end it with a 3. Norton gets the shot off, and it doesn't go down.
Well, it's been the way the half's gone, Mike. A valiant effort, but you know, I don't know that it's about UAB. This is about Western Kentucky and how well they're playing. UAB's playing with a lot of energy. Game's over.
Well, it's a game of runs, but UAB 11 made field goals in the first half. They never made back-to-back. Never 2 straight.
That's a good point.
One that was handed to me. I didn't come up with that myself.
Okay, take credit. And speaking of credit, how about the drive and the finish, Mike, and the enthusiasm? That's just what they have to do. Take the ball to the basket. Nick Norton gets the ball to the rim. You can't settle for jump shots. 3 for 13's not going to cut it.
Norton's dad is the head coach of the UAB women's team, and they're over in Bartow in overtime right now. Here, the second half just started. Here comes Norton leading the break. He's going to pull up in transition. Missed the 3.
You know, I don't mind that shot. Again, they're going to get some looks in transition. It's about the defensive end, Mike. It's not about this end. They've got to come down. You know, you look at the statistics and their scoring and their percentages, but play good defense and those percentages go up.
I thought you said it starts with the offense.
Well, it does, but your transition defense has to get your offense going, and you don't want to hurt yourself on the offensive end by not scoring and getting bad shots.
All right, we take a peek into that UAB-UTEP women's game. Again, Nick Norton's dad is the head coach of UAB women. 54-50. They're in overtime with 3.5 minutes.
If they could have won that game, you could have seen his son play. That's what you get for going into overtime.
Right. Good point. They are close, too. Jared Haas went up to Illinois to watch the tournament game with Norton, offered him on the spot. And now his dad's the head coach down here as well. Robert Brown and 1. Boy, he kind of punched that one in.
How did he get that to fall, Mike? We got to look at this. We have to look at this one again. How did he maintain his body balance on the hit? He takes a hit, he loses control of the ball, and he puts it up with one hand softly off the glass. What a great finish by Robert Brown.
Cosby commits the foul. Brown goes to the line with a chance for the three-point play.
Well, they're going to have to hear from Robert Brown this half, a guy that's been scoring at 13 points and assisting his team and knocking down 40% of threes. He's going to have to step up big time this half.
He's got 12. All the scoring by UAB so far here in the second half.
Well, how about that defense by Nick Norton? He is all over Chris McNeil.
There's no doubt they tightened it up a little bit on the defensive end here early on. Shots will be tough to come by. Sometimes you're just in the right spot at the right time.
Well, there's a rebound, a three-pointer that drops right at the rim. Now, how many three-pointers, Mike, as you say, drop right at the rim? The percentages are that they're going to bound way out on the floor. You teach that as a coach, but that's the last place you expect a three-point shot to go.
Another whistle down on this end against Western Kentucky. Cosby picks up another one. That's his second. Two quick ones for Cosby.
And UTEP has taken the lead over UAB in the tight one in the women's game.
Brown gets it inside. Forces it up. Johnson. Double figures for Johnson now.
Well, nobody's told him he's playing at UAB.
Boy, Norton just... Boy, UAB missed a couple of shots, but you can see it in their eyes. But Western Kentucky keeps answering.
They're not going away, Mike. And I said that when you let a team get on a roll, and I don't know that they've let them get on a roll. They've just gone on a roll. But when a team is on a roll, it's hard to slow down that freight train.
Well, Norton finally slowed down the track meet.
Mike, you've got to allow your crowd to get into it. How do you allow your crowd to get into it? You get stops defensively and you go out. It's not about just making shots. They've got to get stops, create some turnovers, and take it going the other way.
Brown gets the bucket. He's got 14.
Again, great score, but you got to stop some people right here, and that's going to be the challenge for UAB. Can you slow down this Western Kentucky team that is on fire right now?
Down 10, but I think it's going to come down to Western Kentucky's composure as we go deeper into this ball game. If they can hold off the #1 seed in front of this crowd.
Wow, Justin Johnson had a guy on his back, but didn't get it down to him and then turn it over. So we're coming back the other way, and they just mentioned it to Chris. To get that ball inside, they thought that. But here's a transition basket. There he is in transition, maybe even gets fouled. You've got to get back, but again, that does start at the other end, Mike.
6 turnovers now for Western Kentucky. They only had 3 at halftime. Norton. Boy, Norton is 1 for 4. He's missed a couple already here in the second half.
Well, there's a tendency, Mike, to try to get back in the game with jump shots. It's just all young players do that, and you've got to fight that tendency. It's kind of a crutch, but you're down and you're down double digits, but you don't get back in the game. That's 3 possessions, Mike. So you got to get in there and even get to the foul line if you can.
Well, Norton goes out. Denzel Watts, a junior out of Flint, Michigan, replaces him in the lineup now. This is Baxter. 45-35. We approach the 16-minute mark. Wow, left that one short.
Mike, when your shot's not falling again, the free throw line's your best ally. Get it there, get some fouls, get to the rim, take a page out, offensive rebound if you have to. But
Hakeem Baxter picks up the foul for UAB. 15:50 to go right now. The top-seeded Blazers with a hold to dig. They're down 10.
Time around. That's what coaches do, is you just put a little reminders, little bugs in your ear about what you have to do to get your team back on track, or in this case, to stay on track.
Western Kentucky 3 of 4 so far here in the second half. UAB 3 of 8. You mentioned that double-double for Johnson, 11-10 right now. He was 17 and 10 yesterday, and there's Another 3 ball for Cosby.
Well, you've got Cosby and you've got Snipes. You've got two guys that are lethal from the perimeter. And when you're shooting the ball with that kind of consistency, that opens up the inside for players like Justin Johnson to go to work.
And Coach Harper saying, all right, Johnson doesn't have to touch it as long as you make those threes, but you better make them.
Well, UAB has a run, Mike. I'm convinced of that, but they better not wait too long to make that run because they're digging a hole and they're going to be down good double digits plus.
Coach Johnson, they're going to call the foul on Coakley. That's going to be his 3rd if he goes against number 3.
Well, there's that drive I'm talking about. I talked about earlier, Mike, where the 4-man or the short post can get out and drive their bigs because Justin Johnson can put the ball on the floor and get to places. So that's a tough matchup for UAB. They're going to have to get out there and really solve the Justin Johnson puzzle.
Jared Haas with back-to-back 20-win seasons. Here's Johnson again. Baseline jumper, open, left it short. Johnson, they're going to call the foul, and it's going to go against Johnson. Good call, good call.
Well, that could have gone either way, but I think they saw his offhand holding him down. And no argument from Ray Harper, but again, it shows you how tough Justin Johnson is to play against. You've got to keep him off at every stretch.
UAB down to 22.8 seconds on the women's side there, 59-56 trailing UTEP. That's the first foul of the game for Justin Johnson. But you nailed it, Coach. He definitely held him on down with that off arm, the left arm. Robert Brown. Swatted away. Hilltoppers almost lose it.
They're settling it down, and Ray Harper wants them to run their offense, not be in a hurry to give it back to UAB. Still early in the half, but they've got to execute.
Largest lead in the game for Western Kentucky right now with 14-14 to go. 48-35. They scored 84 yesterday. Johnson, deep 3. Rostow, brand new clock. Cosby said, don't need a clock.
Well, they're lucky that didn't go down because that second shot, a reload, could have really hurt them.
Brown. Baxter, nice job. Boy, good hustle by Baxter, but the shot didn't go down, and it finally is stuck back by William Lee.
Well, Mike, that's what the doctor ordered. You have got to do what they just did and go to the offensive glass. It's not your day from the perimeter. Go to the glass, make some things happen, get some putbacks and ones. And Jared has just imploring his guys, go there and get some extras. Here it is, pounding the glass. Look at that.
Rostov got hit in the eye. Inadvertent elbow, I think, to the face.
Well, they're going to review it, and that's what the officials do. That's a good rule this year. They've implemented that, Mike, and they've done it, I think, very wisely. You don't want games to get out of hand, and much more importantly, you don't want players to get injured because the replays really help.
Over on the women's side, 5.7 seconds to go in overtime. UTEP holding on to the 2-point lead over UAB. Ray Harper, 3 stops as a head coach. He's won nearly 79% of his games. Wow. 4 national championships, 5 National Coach of the Year awards, and he's 10-2 in tournament action as the head coach at Western Kentucky.
Well, I've known Ray a long time. It goes back to his Kentucky Wesleyan days. And if you don't know much about Kentucky Wesleyan, look it up. That's one of the top Division II programs in the country. They could play, and they could have played with a lot of the Division I programs. Outstanding program, and he won national championships, played there and won championships.
Only 17-15 this year, but he's replaced about 67% of the scoring, 62% of the rebounding. He had 10 newcomers, 5 were rookies. And they've been playing some pretty good basketball, winning 5 of 6 right now, and they lead the #1 seed 48-37 with 13:43 to go. You want to play your best basketball at the end of the season, they're doing it right now.
Well, that's the formula for success, and the good coaches do that, Mike. They get their guys to play like there's no tomorrow. I mean, it's hard to do that it really is for 30 games. You know, you talk about that, but to maintain, you know, we always put up 40 minutes of hard basketball on the board. Every coach in America puts that up. Doing it's a little bit harder than saying it.
This is what they're looking at right now. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe Baxter did get him. Maybe it wasn't an inadvertent elbow, more of a swat.
Well, it was directed. Now they're going to say, was it flagrant? Was it a push? Was it a shove? Or was it was it
Look at Jared Haas over
directed?
there. Jared Haas is just standing patiently, waiting for the call.
Well, that's a tough. That goes against. Let's see what happens. That UAB can ill afford another call going against them to that nature, because that'll put a free throw in the books.
Jared Haas has already pulled Baxter off the floor.
Well, it's a little bit of frustration, Mike.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it's a tough game. Here comes the official now to give us the call. We got the flagrant one.
Yes, Mike, it's a flagrant one. That means that they're going to, you're not getting kicked out of the game, but that was a foul that was located. And we see it again. He gets up and he directs, contact to the head. And maybe that wouldn't have knocked you or me out, but if you get hit in the eye, it can hurt your vision. And that's just a silly foul. And they dodge a little bit of a bullet right there. Not so sure that Rostov can see, because if he got hit in the eye, that might still be bothering him. But I like Jared Haas. What he did is he got Baxter out of the game, talked about it, and that's just frustration, Mike. That's all that is.
Rostov just a 58% shooter. It's 1 of 2.
Jared Haas is one of the better sportsmen in the game of basketball, and he's not going to tolerate it from his players or anybody, coaches himself. I mean, he plays basketball that coaches it the right way.
UAB has just tied up that game with UTEP with a half-court shot. Check it out on the right side of your screen. Just like the Marshall Louisiana Tech game last week.
Wow.
Banks it in.
Nick Norton's father's not going to see him play, it looks like.
What a way to send it to double overtime.
He'll trade it. We'll watch the game in replay.
Well, the Blazers need stops now as we approach the 13-minute mark. The 7-footer, Lawson just backs his man down. He couldn't do that last year.
No, he's gotten better. And what about the discipline of Western Kentucky going back inside after a Ray Harper timeout? Just telling his guys, go back inside, don't settle.
Lee outside.
Well, uh-oh is right. When those shots don't fall, now they got to get back in transition, and they're going to really have to keep guys off the glass.
Brown leads the break. A 3 if it goes. It does.
Well, you could predict that, Mike, when they come out in transition and spread the floor. That's a really good way to get open looks. Transition basketball gives you open looks.
Dirk Williams, the 6th man of the year in Conference USA, hits his first shot. Snipes tries to answer. He does it. Ripped down by Watts. Oh! Edmond.
How about that hustle play? They've been doing it all afternoon, Mike. Nothing new.
Wow. I looked down, Ben, to score my sheet. I almost missed it. There's back-to-back threes. Here comes UAB.
UAB's feeling it, Mike, but what they better feel is the defensive end and the offensive glass. They better keep Western Kentucky off, because they're going to score some points. They're going to make a run.
Johnson with the flush. She's got 13.
Wow, what a great send back for Justin Johnson. He's inspired, Mike. He's playing at a high level.
Brown comes right back. Now they're starting to trade buckets back and forth. Brown with 16.
Mike, this is like an NBA game right now. Both teams just unleashing an unbelievable load of weapons. But they're going to have to stop somebody. Again, UAB must defend.
Knocked out of bounds by Watts. So Justin Johnson with back-to-back double-doubles, if anything, making a case for the all-tournament team.
Well, look at how high he gets up, and just with authority. Mike, he's a player, and he's on a mission. What a tough break for UAB women.
How do you make that call?
I don't know that you do, again, unless there's some type of malfunction or hookup that we don't know about in the arena.
Edmond, boy, nice body hand.
That's a great move by Edmond to switch hands, delay, get up in the air, and still complete the play. Mike, I don't see Western Kentucky going away. A lot of teams would fold. They're staying right in the action. And you can see the tightness of UAB. They're pulling back on their shots. There's a lot of pressure that they're playing under, and you can see the pressure starting to take its toll.
Boy, 38-19 right now. Western Kentucky on top of the rebound department. After that last rebound, there's a foul. Justin Johnson heading for the line.
Well, you see where they want the ball to go, Mike. They want it in Justin Johnson's hands, and he wants the ball. How about that? You know, good players have to want the ball, and he wants it. He wants it in a big way.
Foul goes against Sullivan, his first.
If there's a kryptonite in his game, Mike, it's at the free throw line, and there's not many. There's not many holes in his game, but he's been only a little bit over 60% free throw shooter, and he's going to have to knock these down because UAB again has a run left in them.
He's 1 for 3 from the line so far. Well, 50% after hitting that one, so 14 points already with the double-double. But Western Kentucky again pounding the top-seeded Blazers on the glass right now. They lose control of the ball. They go to bounds. A costly turnover by UAB with 10:17 to go. Let's go back to the girls' game now and check the red. Now, we saw the clock had not expired, but watch the red. That's what the officials go by. Wow, so something wasn't so.
Yeah, no, you guys.
Something was messed up.
And that's what I just said, Mike. That was the only answer I could give you from here is that there's a malfunction. There's not a sync. They're not synced, and so that's what you do go by. Unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate, but I guess the officials went by the red light. That's what they're supposed to do. Wow, that's heartbreaking. There's a whistle. They're going to call this against UAB. Robert Brown can't believe it. Went down with some help defense. They're trying to go for the double team, and he picks up his third foul.
Well, they're getting down there as they should, Mike. They've got to get in there and dig it back out. But it's a double-edged sword if you're playing against WKU. And they're attacking the glass, Mike. You know, you can complain about these calls, but Western Kentucky is getting to the rim. End of story.
Lawson goes back to the line, 75% shooter. So Mahinty has 4 fouls, Baxter 3, Coakley 3 with 9:50 to go.
Well, Mike, I've said this before, and I'll say it again and again, and it's coach speak, I understand, but when they come down, they have got to get to the free throw line. They must stop the clock. They must regroup, set up a little pressure, but you can't just live and die right here with the shot. And I know Jared has told his team, hey, let's be patient. We're behind, but let's get the ball to the rim. Let's see if we can go inside out. They've got to utilize every possession. They can't waste any possessions.
There's a steal. Edmond goes the distance, so Edmond now with 12 points.
They're going to have to call a timeout, Mike, and regroup.
Ray Harper had 9 who scored yesterday. They've got 8 in the scoring column right now. And Big Mo has not shifted back over to UAB yet. Western Kentucky in control.
Well, there's a steal on transition, the score, and more extension on the lead. Sugarcoat it. Don't try to psych them into something. You know, trick them. Tell them the truth, and if they can't handle it, then they can't handle it. But he told his team flat out, "Hey, guys, we have to win, or we're gonna go to the NIT." And I like that message.
I was thinking about that before the broadcast today. He's Coach of the Year, but it'll feel a lot better if he gets back into the NCAA tournament. That Coach of the Year honor. They had a great year. There's no doubt about it. And this game isn't over yet.
No, it's not. And he's just too good a coach, and this is too good a team. You don't go through your league and win the title without having some guts and determination and some toughness.
But earlier you said they better make a run pretty soon, and you're right about that. Inside 9.5 minutes now, down 62-45. Norton has not been able to hit 3. Missed again.
They got down late to the clock, Mike, and you know, late to the clock, you got to take those shots. But you know, they're trying to get in there. There's just no apparent holes in the defense of Western Kentucky.
Second straight year, these two schools met in the quarterfinals. Last year, UAB won it 53-52. Snipes, usually outside, takes it with a vengeance to the rack.
Now they're just really doing a great job offensively, getting to the rim and driving UAB.
UAB comes back with a perimeter shot to no avail, and McNeil, the 6-foot freshman, rips down the rebound.
Well, they're looking for a spark, Mike. Sometimes it's a basket, sometimes it's a steal, sometimes it's an and one. They've got to get on the board pretty quick.
Whistle before the shot.
Here's the last basket. You can see there's a drive and kind of a parting of the Red Sea there. You know, you've got to close down, but that's what Western Kentucky can do. They've got a lot of multi-purpose guys that drive it.
Brown picks up his third with 8:28 to go. Edmond with 12 points back on the line.
Well, Mike, Robert Brown's not going to sit down with a double-digit deficit here and 3 fouls. They've got to leave him in the game and come back any way they can.
Edmond just a 55% shooter, 1 for 6 from the stripe yesterday. Knocks them both down here.
Well, it's again important that they try to get to the foul line if they can. Attack the basket.
Coakley does exactly that.
That's what you have to do, Mike. They need a steady diet of that every possession. Make Western Kentucky stop them to the rim. That's imperative.
Coakley with 6 quick points in the first half. That's his first bucket here in the second half. He's got 8. McNeil misfires. Blazers trying to get something going.
That's a good call, Mike. You're inside the arc, and that's 2 times in a row where they've gone to the rim. Great strategy by UAB. I hope it's not a little too late.
So Lawson picks up the foul. 7:56 to go. Jared Haas, top seed. It's all on the line now.
To this game, you know, that's not a graphics mistake when you see the score. Our producers, directors are too good. They don't make those kind of mistakes in the truck. Jeff Graham, believe me, they got this right. That's the real score, and it's hard to believe. If you would have told anybody this, that UAB would be down 20 points in their own building, in their own city, that would be hard-pressed to believe that. But there's a reason, Mike. Second chance points, 17-2. 40-20 on the boards. Jared has told me yesterday his number one concern, be physical on the boards, and Western Kentucky's been physical.
Williams, the 6th man of the year, now with 5, and he scores in double figures. The Blazers 14-0 this year. Jared Haas getting about 33 points a game from their bench. Hasn't been the case so far tonight.
Well, let's see if Western Kentucky continue to play with that aggressiveness. You don't want to slow it down to a crawl and take away your momentum, but you don't want to play giveaway and be in a hurry. And you don't want to turn it over. Anything but a turnover, Mike. You live with a shot, but do not turn it over.
Watching Ray Harper during the last timeout as McNeil lines up a 3, and Lawson tries to keep it alive, and they don't. I was going to say, I was watching Ray Harper during the last timeout, and he was telling his team, just keep your foot on the pedal. Don't let up right now, guys.
Let's watch it. That's a great point, Mike. And there's the back tap, and a couple of guys getting after it. You know, Norton, you know, using his body, but they come away, and luckily there was a reach in and a foul.
Norton again from 3.
Wow, what a great tip by Lee. And here they come. There will be a run in this game.
Western Kentucky trying to keep it under control, and Edmond has 16 now. Brown comes right back.
That's a great
draws
call.
The foul.
Great move, Mike.
Boy, Norton, 55 threes coming in. He's hit 1, but he's 1 for 7. Almost a 40% shooter from outside, so it hasn't been his day. Snipes just picks up his second foul.
No, but there's a lot of basketball left, Mike. There's plenty of time to come back. If you're Nick Norton and you're UAB, you know, you've got to dig down. You're a championship team, and now it's just you got to use these last third of the half to really play like it.
UAB closed out the season with a 3-point win over FAU. Brown had 17, and that free throw right there makes 18 here today.
Well, and it stops the clock. Again, we talked about this, stopping the clock, setting up your press, putting a little pressure on Western Kentucky. They haven't had the pressure this game since they've had the lead. Now they're going to be under pressure to see if they can maintain the lead and hold on.
Yeah, 7 minutes probably feels like an eternity for Ray Harper right now, huh?
Now that clock can't move fast enough. Been there before, Mike. That thing looks like slow motion on steroids.
10 on the shot clock. Johnson. Snipes lines up. Ring it up. Wow.
How good has he been in this tournament, Mike? That's just 2 games in a row where he's been killer from 3.
Yeah, and keep in mind, he just took 1 shot on senior day, scoreless. He felt bad about that. Brown comes back, misfires, and Edmond rips down the rebound.
Starting to get to the stage of the game where now possessions are going to be at a premium, and there'll be less possessions. There's a steal by Horton.
Norton steps out, finally knocks down a 3.
Biggest play of the game, Mike. Huge play.
6:08 to go, but Western Kentucky, they've hit 7 of their last 9 shots. Nigel Snipes, the 5th-year senior from Atlanta, had 4 threes yesterday. He's got 3. Boy, Jared Haas, usually very, very, very calm.
Well, he's trying to give his team an edge any way they can, but, you know, he's not only trying to light a little flame under the officials here, a little bug in their ear, but he's trying to get his team going, too. That's what coaches do. There's a method to their madness, our madness, I should say. There's good technicals, bad technicals. There's time to get up and at them. And if you're Jared Haas and you get up and you gripe, which isn't often, you know, if you're an official, you listen. It looks like he's going to get his team. Now there's a full timeout, and they're looking at this, which is what Jared Haas wants him to do. Look at this again. There's the 3-pointer. And wow, they're saying,
I don't know, it's hard to see.
Yeah, who pulled who down?
Yeah,
was
exactly.
somebody pulling somebody down, or was somebody being pushed? If you're being pushed, you're going to hold on to protect yourself. That was Jared Haas's point, Mike. He said, look, my guy might have pulled him down, but I'm getting pushed. I'm not going down without a little cushion.
I would say that, wow, I would say it was well, I've never read the game in my life. Maybe a no call.
Maybe a no call.
Because watch the expression on the Western Kentucky guy's face. It's almost like, I don't want to go down right here.
Well, no advantage, disadvantage, and there's no intent to hurt anybody.
Right.
So maybe the best thing there, Mike, and it's just speculation, and I know that's not our job, but, you know, that's a choice. A no call is a choice. Not saying the officials blew it. I'm just saying that sometimes when you're not sure and the evidence is not conclusive, come away with a no call.
Sykes misses the free throw.
Ball doesn't lie, Mike. That's what we used to say. Ball doesn't lie.
Coakley comes right back. Beautiful touch off the window.
You see where they're going now, Mike. There's no mistake. They're going inside. They are not settling.
But have they done it soon enough?
Well, there's still a lot of time left in this game. Believe me. Oh, plenty of time. It's just UAB can't wait.
Boy, Edmond. A little bit too much dribbling, maybe, Coach? I mean,
well, a little bit, but you know, when you can get the result he just got and get to the foul line, that's not a bad alternative. When you're being pressured, Mike, there's 2 things you can do. Give it up or take your man. I have no problem with a guy under pressure turning the corner and going.
Baxter picks up his 4th.
Yeah.
He thought he had all ball.
Well, and if he did, that would have gone off Edmond. And maybe the ball doesn't lie again. That's all I can go to is sometimes even players get to the line. If they know they got a good call, sometimes it doesn't go through. But really, you like the aggressiveness by UAB. As you said, Mike, is it a little bit too late? You know, a little too late. And we'll see. There is time left in this game.
Yeah, I guess 5:36, 12 points. That can change in a hurry.
Well, let's see again what type of shot that UAB can manufacture and what type of shot that Western Kentucky will allow.
Still working the perimeter. Brown gets inside. Nice move by Robert Brown. And 1. He's fouled at the end. He's got 20 with a chance for 21.
Mike, that is the recipe for success. Do not settle. Go to the rim. And 1. Stop the clock. And now it's a possession game with time on your side. What a great move. Absorbs the contact. He knew what he wanted to do. UAB, make no mistake, is on a mission to close this gap.
Cosby picks up his 3rd. Brown, the senior out of transfer from Virginia Tech, first team all-conference, all-tournament team pick last year. Misses the free throw, so he's stuck on 20.
Well, they're still pressing off of a miss. Good move. You can do that off free throws, Mike. Harder up a made.
And it's stolen away. Baxter. Blocking foul before the shot.
Wow. Wow. That's lucky, could have gone the other way, but here's the steal. And Nick Norton's done that twice this game. He's come up from behind and given it, and great individual play, and he was still moving a little bit. You have to be stationary, so I'm okay with that call. But again, what happens, Mike? The clock is stopped. You're just giving UAB an opportunity now with a stop clock to make up ground.
UAB got to the charity stripe 24 times against FAU in the regular season finale.
Well, Western Kentucky awfully fortunate. These free throws aren't going down because the gap would have been narrowed almost to single digits.
Baxter looking for his first points. The junior out of Philadelphia misses both from the line. He's a good shooter too, 76%.
Hard to figure. That's a little bit of pressure and a little bit of tightness.
Johnson gives it up. It's a big to a little. The kick out. Snipes loves that shot.
Mike, he has had a tournament and a half already. He has just played at a level that's unbelievable for his team. He has hit every big shot his team has needed him to hit.
4 threes both days now. Coakley misfires. Johnson battles for the rebound. Finally, Hilltoppers come out with it. 4.5 minutes to go. Oh, nice execution. Snipes now with 16.
How about Justin Johnson? He's made every right play, hasn't he?
He's a good player. Ball keeps rolling off the rim for UAB. Western Kentucky is taking some of that energy out of that comeback right now from UAB.
Well, they have, and they've done it because they've really gone to the glass, and they've decided to really, again, maintain by going inside of Justin Johnson. Inside-out basketball.
Reaching foul. Norton with the call. Well, it's been fun so far, unless you're a Blazer fan. 3:46 to go. Western Kentucky up by 17.
They've got a pretty good lead going, but if Justin Johnson can't go or he's sidelined, that's going to really help UAB because he's been the key guy today to make this offense and this team go on the defensive end with rebounding.
Edmond misses again from the line. He's got 17. He's played well, but free throw is not his forte.
No, 55% shooter, so that's the guy you want to foul, and then UAB may have to start hack a shack or putting him into the line. We don't think that might not happen.
Western Kentucky handed UAB their first conference loss this year. Now possibly knocking them out of this tournament. It's a good stick back by Coakley. So Coakley's got 12, and it's 78-62.
You wonder, Mike, is there enough time left in this game if you're UAB to make a run?
I don't know, Coach. I don't know. The sands of the hourglass are sliding quickly now. Probably too quickly for Jared Haas, not quick enough for Ray Harper.
No, and maybe the foul, there you go. The foul is going to have to be your best ally because it does stop the clock. And you take a chance. Maybe you come away with only giving up one made free throw and you come back and get a 2 or a 3. So you've got to roll the dice a little bit, but to allow Western Kentucky to milk that clock, not enough possessions left in this game.
Frederick Edmond, the junior out of Lansing, Michigan, who misses from the free throw line. His first game for Western Kentucky at 20. He's got 18 here. Look at all the number ones going down.
Well, and Jared as his team, what a shame if his team is one of them because they've had a banner year, unbelievable year. But, you know, very well instructed. He instructed his team when Edmonds gets the ball, foul, and they did that. So one free throw, if they can turn it into a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, that's pretty good strategy.
Of course, last year UAB winning the tournament and beating Iowa State 60-59 in the NCAA tournament. But again, by winning the regular season, Cosby just picked up his 4th. Winning the regular season, you get into the NIT automatically. But Again, what's there after the great year that you just mentioned? What's their mental state of mind when they go to the NIT?
You want to be in the NCAA tournament, Mike, and you really, in so many ways, deserve to go there. I'm like to see maybe some restructuring, but it's a shame that you can win your league and you just have nothing to show for it if you have one bad stumble in the conference tournament. So we'll see what happens.
It's almost like you're not rewarded enough. I know you get a trophy, you get to go to the NIT, but you're not rewarded enough.
No, Mike, and the other point is, end of the year, tell me, most people don't know who won their leagues in every major conference. You know who advances the tournament, who went to the Sweet 16, Final Four. You don't know what place they finished in their league, so has not been as important down through the years now.
And every kid out there dreams about playing in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. Dream come true.
And just think of Damian Lee goes from Drexel to Louisville thinking he's going to play in the dance, and Louisville doesn't go.
No, it's just heartbreaking.
.235 to go. 3 on the shot clock. They got to launch one here. Cosby. Little raindrop doesn't go. Nice job by Norton to keep that alive, and Baxter missed the shot. Lawson's going to get the foul.
That's a great play. They've got to come away with something. At least they get the foul call, but that was a great 2-on-1 break. Great execution. Passing away from the defense, getting the glass. Would have loved it to be a score and one, but they'll take the 2 shots and the setup of the press. And again, just try to whittle this down. And if they can, they'll probably go right back to the fouling to stop the clock once again.
Size picks up his 3rd. Baxter finally gets in the scoring column. 76% shooter, missed his last 4 free throws.
Well, that's a huge free throw there.
So he's 1 for 5.
Every shot crucial.
Well, the last 5 games, Western Kentucky's held the opposition 69 points. Previous 7 games.
Now they've just dominated this tournament.
Held ball situation, the arrow pointing the other way.
Well, that was a smart play. Very smart play by Cosby to know. You have to know if you've got the next jump ball. We always talk about that at timeouts, because if you get the ball and you get tied up, that's okay. You may get the foul call, but the worst case scenario, the ball's back in your hands.
We clarify that when I said the other way down here, but Western Kentucky retains possession, of course. Snipes gets rid of it. Nice job. Edmond loses the rock. Last touch by Western Kentucky. It's going to be UAB ball.
Ray Harper is saying, unless you've got a layup, we don't need you to score. Take it out. Get the foul. They're going to foul you. But don't come up empty-handed and go the other way. Ray Harper had a right to jump on his players who played so well today. But that's just not a smart play down the stretch. And you play that way in the heart of the game, in the motion of the game.
11 turnovers now for Western Kentucky. 8 in the second half.
Well, nothing's going UAB's way. They're getting their hands on offensive rebounds. Just can't seem to corral the ball, Mike. You feel for them.
Take your hat off to Western Kentucky. 66% in the second half yesterday. 61% shooting in the second half here today. So they've come to play. There's no doubt about that. Another steal. Baxter. Minute 50 to go. Back to 12. Hilltopper's doing a great job.
Now they pull it out, Mike. Lesson learned. They were thinking about scoring, and you tell your team, take the 2 points, but if you're not 100% sure, take it back out and get it. But let's look at the pressure, Mike. The UAB is really turning it on now. It's maybe too late, but you got to give them credit. They're really working hard. Hard pressure, no foul, and almost a 10-second count, almost a travel, and the turnover. If it wasn't a travel, it was a turnover. And they scored coming back the other way.
Snipes 4 for 7 from 3. Hits the free throw. 17 points for him. 19 for Edmond. 14 for Johnson. 10 for Lawson.
You don't want to foul Snipes. He's 75%, but you really don't have any luxury of picking and choosing with such little time left on the clock.
Brown gets it to roll in, so Robert Brown now with 23, but just 90 seconds to go. 90 seconds, and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky will have their second win and move on to the semifinals here of the Conference USA tournament. And Ray Harper will go to 11-2 in conference tournaments since taking over at Western Kentucky. And those two losses, both one-pointers to the eventual champions.
Now, good point, Mike, but not so fast. We got a minute and a half left. I still think that UAB's got an ability to cut this to single digits. And again, with a combination of Western Kentucky free throw misses or 1-for-2s, UAB scoring, converting, stopping the clock, calling timeout, fouling early, they can get back in this.
Missed them both, 2 for 5 from the stripe. So Robert Brown picks up his 4th foul. This is Brown with the ball, gives it up to Baxter. Baxter's using some of that wide frame of it. Baxter's a Husky guard, and
well, he got that, but Mike, don't go anywhere. Not that you were, but we're going to have an interesting finish here before it's over.
I don't know, Western Kentucky's doing a great job of manipulating that press.
Well, they are, but it's a 10-point game, and you cut this to single digits. Stranger things have happened. You know,
that is a good point, because they're starting to miss their free throws right now.
Well, it was UAB that was tight early in the game. I think it's Western Kentucky playing a little tight now, and you can understand why. They fought so hard, but they don't want to give up this lead with this home crowd behind UAB and have to battle back.
They just lost their leader, Robert Brown, the senior. 23 points, he just fouled out.
Well, he has to foul. You can't pick and choose, but well, he's had just an unbelievable career at UAB, and now to try to win this game with his absence is going to be even tougher. That could have been a foul going back the other way, but you see what he can do. He means so much to this team, but again, UAB's been a great team all year because of their balance, so they're not through yet, Mike.
Goes out with 3 assists. He needed 3 for 100. And another missed free throw.
Don't look now, but again, that tightening, that's human nature, is happening. You've got the lead, and you're thinking about putting the hay in the barn, but that's easier said than done.
They had missed 3 straight.
Well,
Boston kicks it out.
I like that full court pressure a little bit, just to extend, take a little timeout, and get the ball out of, obviously, if you can, get the ball out of Norton's hand.
67 seconds to go. Snipes back in. Lawson. No, Johnson's going out.
Well, Mike, if they cut this to single digits, we'll have an interesting finish here. But they've got to score in this possession. Score or get fouled.
Lee, that's a 3. Doesn't go. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Western Kentucky basketball with 62 seconds on the clock.
Again, you're Ray Harper, and you look at that clock, you think there's a malfunction. We thought there was one maybe in the women's game. I'm sure he's looking up saying, hey, that clock's moving, get it going. But his guys have got to be smart, and they've got to protect the basketball. You cannot turn it over.
Stolen away. Lee, and Lawson fouls with 58 on the clock.
And Ray Harper is telling his players, they're going to foul you. Stop trying to make a play. And the players just kind of lose track. Now watch this again. The ball gets in. Hold on to the ball. Where are you going? Hold on to the ball. They're going to foul you. You've got 10 seconds. Call a timeout if you have to, but you don't have to be in a hurry, Mike. Well, again, Western Kentucky fortunate that UAB has still not found their mark from the line. That's really plagued them.
William Lee hit a couple of free throws with 13 seconds to go to beat Western Kentucky in that 4-point win on senior day. Hits 1 of 2. He's got 13. 58 seconds to go. 10 points.
Ball security. Hold on. Ball security.
Norton.
Good foul.
Stops the clock with 54.9.
Okay with that foul because, again, as you just mentioned, Mike, does stop the clock.
McNeil, the rookie out of Jackson, Tennessee. 9 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds yesterday. 5 points today, make it 6. That's his first point in the second half. Pushes the lead to 11 again with 54 seconds to go. Western Kentucky to 64% from the charity stripe. Those are good numbers from the field, but not the charity stripe. UAB down 12, less than a minute. Norton He thought he was fouled. It might have been deflected. He thought he was fouled. Jared Haas looks at the official like, really?
Well, if it wasn't a foul, it might have looked like a piece of the ball.
Yeah, I think he got the ball, actually.
Well, they can look at this, but they can request, I think, a look. A little bit on the hand, a little bit on the arm, possibly.
So Nick Norton came in with 55 threes. He's 2 for 10 from long range here this afternoon.
Mike, I've been on the sideline and gone through that exact feeling that Jared Haas feels, and that's having your team win a championship and been in the tournament, and you do feel the pressure, because if you don't win this game, likelihood is you are going to the NIT. And it's such a frustrating feeling because you've done everything right all year long, and then shame you have to come down to one game against a team that's playing as well as anybody in this conference. I would not want to play Western Kentucky right now the way they are playing.
Yeah, this will be 5 of 6 for the Hilltoppers if they pull it out.
Well, and it's how they're playing. Mike, it's not just they're getting wins. They're doing it with authority. They are just dominating their opponents.
43 seconds to go. So UAB, the #1 seed, 26 wins, a school record, 16 conference wins, a school record, 10 road victories, a school record. There's the resume this year.
Well, big wins over Stephen F. and Middle Tennessee twice. Those are good wins. You know, I don't know about Western Kentucky and Auburn as key losses as much, but the 74 RPI, that is generally a number that's regarded as really being a difficult number for you if you're trying to get into the tournament. If you can get that number to go down and you get to the final of your tournament, you know, good things can happen. But as Jared told his team very plainly and to the point, we have to win or we're going to go home. And that's the right message, Mike. I commend the coach that's honest with his players.
The last loss for Western Kentucky was to UAB. Wow, there's a deep three by Watts. Too little, too late. 36 seconds to go. So the Hilltoppers, when this finishes up, it'll be 2 out of 3 against UAB. Heartbreaking loss for the Blazers. Which obviously they haven't given up their fight yet.
Now, you know, you really, Mike, you feel for the players on that floor who are trying so hard and what they've done all year long to run up against a buzzsaw in Western Kentucky. They've just been on fire, and there's just been no slowing them down. I really don't want to be in the way of Western Kentucky if you're a coach and you're a team, because they're playing at a high level. But, you know, classy fans, classy coach, and classy kids that are battling to the end. There's no frustration, fouls, or bad sportsmanship. They're playing it. It's just one of those days.
Well, Robert Brown is really the only senior. So Jared Haas, if they go to the NIT, will have to take this opportunity. Let's build for next year. Let's come back and have a good NIT run.
Mike, you do not make apologies if you're Jared Haas. You just don't. He has done so much for this program. You cannot do that. You cannot put your head down if you're Jared Haas and proven to his team, you're his administration, you're his alumni.